All right. The guy that exposed and escaped from a New Orleans prison system is on the run. The bounty is up to $50,000. And he went live and did a video and put out there that the charges against him were fraudulent. And they looked at his background, and someone in his family identified the address. They want that 50,000. They sent the police there. The police didn't find him, but they knew that he had been there. And that there put somebody's freedom in jeopardy. Check this out.
Afternoon, I'm Lauren McCoy.
And I'm Meg Gatto. A social media video showing what appears to be one of the Orleans jail escapees prompts a search of a home in New Orleans.
Tan Trung joins us with details on the search, which is now in its third week.
Well, Lauren, that social media video spread quickly after it was posted on Sunday, and a source tells Fox 8 that state police searched a home on Agriculture Street in the 7th Ward because of it. The source says officers got tips from relatives who recognized the backdrop in the social media video. According to the Associated Press, when investigators searched the home, they did not find Antoine Massey, but did find clothing they believed he was wearing in the video. Massey and convicted killer Derek Groves are the two remaining escapees who broke out of the Orleans Parish Jail on May 16th. 8 other inmates have been recaptured. Today, Governor Jeff Landry repeated the message authorities have been sending to the fugitives.
What I would urge is that those two quit the hide and seek game that we're playing, turn yourself in, and you'll be able to have your day in court.
Typically what happens is as time goes on, those resources dwindle and dwindle, and they're either forced to do something drastic, like further criminal action, a carjacking to get transportation, rob a store to get money.
And that was security consultant and former Secret Service agent Donald Lane. He says the social media video of Massey is bold but also desperate. Lane believes it shows Massey running out of options and trying to win over public opinion. The reward in this manhunt for Antoine Massey and Derek Groves is now up to $50,000 per fugitive. Reporting live, Tan Trung, Fox 8, Local First.
Now, that video then identified where he has been. And they already put it out there that whoever is assisting these brothers of escaping, they will be charged. So we see that somebody in the family or girlfriend, whoever it is going to be charged with a crime because they done discovered evidence of him being at the address. Even though he might be not guilty of whatever they had him charged on, the escape is what he's not going to be able to beat. And he can try to explain that he shouldn't have been there, but that's what you got to fight in court. And we see that the prison system is definitely messed up. And in this situation, you know, he spoke out, and I want y'all to check this out right here.
Massey, I'm one of the ones that was let out of GC. What I want to talk about today is far as why I was in Orleans Parish Jail. I was in custody for almost 8 months. All right, 6 months, something like that. I was in there for theft of a motor vehicle and domestic abuse involving strangulation. That's what I was in Orleans Parish for. Okay, but before I was in Orleans Parish, I was in a jail called St. Tammany Detention Center. All right, St. Tammany Jail here and St. Tammany Parish. There's 2 different parishes, Orleans and St. Tammany. Okay, today what I want to talk about is that I was on 2nd degree kidnapping, 2nd degree rape, domestic abuse, battery involving strangulation, domestic violation of protective order, right? On this woman right here, her name is Diamond White. That's her name. This is a district attorney drop form right here. And she's not a child. She's an adult, a full adult. I was dating this woman. This is a legalized affidavit saying all allegations against me is false. You hear me? All allegations against me is false. I was nowhere around her or none of that during the timing of the date, which was November the 10th of 2024. Okay, so I was in Centennial, right? And I was on a regular domestic charge, right? So they put a parole hold on me because I was on a domestic charge. So with that being said, is that once that occurred, and the charges was refused or whatever, they shipped me to Orleans Parish where I had more open charges. It was the theft of a motor vehicle and the domestic abuse, battery, involving strangulation. So once I got in Orleans Parish jail, all right, I have from the district attorney's office, this woman who they say that I initially raped in another parish and in Orleans Parish is the same woman here. It's not different females. It's the same grown woman, not a child, a grown woman. Okay, she did the same thing in Orleans Parish, right? Correct. I'm about to show you how the system is corrupted. Okay, she did this, right? Saying all allegations against me is false, and she even saying it. You know, she let them know the truth that I never did this to her. I never hit her. I was nowhere around her. Nothing. She got mad and thought that I was dealing with another woman. That's why she did what she did to me. You know what I'm saying? Another thing too, once I got into Orleans Parish, I was there for like a month or something like that. Okay, a lot went on as that time progressed. Okay, if you was an innocent person and you know the judges and DA know that this person is saying that all the charges that you're on that you did not do, why was you still in jail? Louisiana have the highest incarceration rate in the world for putting black people away. Yes, at the end of the day, in my younger life, I'm not gonna lie, I was causing problems. I was young. My daddy got killed when I was 7 years old. My mom had to raise 4 children by herself, so I had to find a way to try to help my mother. You feel what I'm saying? But as time went on, the person that I once was, I'm not that person today. That is not who I am. I have a 3-year-old son. I have an 18-year-old daughter that graduated yesterday, supposed to be. At the end of the day, that people don't understand that they see that I'm armed and dangerous. I have a heart. People that know me know that at the end of the day, I am a good person. So I'm asking for help from the world, from Meek Mills, Lil Wayne, Young Boy, Donald Trump. I'm asking for these people. I couldn't even get a lawyer. I couldn't even afford a lawyer to prove my innocence while I was in Orleans Parish jail. They say that I broke out. I didn't break out. I was let out. My name is Antione Massey. The guy who said that I threatened him with a shank, the maintenance guy, how could I threaten you with a shank? You can't come around me. You're a maintenance. You cannot come on the tills without a deputy being behind you. Because if they just let you on the till, you could be persuaded to bring drugs or anything like that in that nature. So how can I threaten you to jail you? And why you didn't notify the people, the police, that if I did threaten you, you never did that. Like, you flat out lied on me. Sterling flat out lied on me. And I want to let the media know that from the straight tattoos in my face and things of that nature, of course they're gonna believe Sterling. You know what I'm saying? I never told Sterling nothing. I'm willing to take a lie detector test and everything behind that, but that's another subject. Orleans Parish is one of the corruptedest jails. That and St. Tammany Parish is the corruptedest jails in the state of Louisiana. Why was I even incarcerated with a woman saying that this never happened? This is this woman's name. This is the charge, domestic abuse violation. This is about the shit in St. Tammany. Why would I in Orleans Parish? Why was I even in jail? That's what I'm trying to show y'all. That's why I left the jail. And they have a lot more brothers that's innocent, just like me, that's trying to prove their innocence. That's why they ran. Jason Williams, the sheriff, Susan Hudson. These people are corrupted. These people was talking to St. Tammany and telling St. Tammany they gonna sentence me behind this, and telling St. Tammany if they can't get me, St. Tammany gonna get me. You see what I'm saying? Behind a woman that's a grown adult that never stated that I ever raped her. They have a detective that's over the case, that's trying to pursue charges on me because of my prior history. Who I was in the past is not who I am today. So I'm asking for the media. I don't even have a lawyer to help me. I'm asking for help. That's why I ran. You feel me? I'm a grown man. I have kids. I have a mother. I have a baby mother, a child, my children mother. Like it's a lot going on. And that's why I ran. I need help. You feel what I'm saying? Orleans Parish and St. Tammany is one of the corruptest parishes in the world. And I'm asking for help. It's a lot of corruption. It's juggins, all type of stuff going on, and they covering it up. They don't care about nothing in the state of Louisiana. This is something that needs to go under a federal investigation. What's going on?
Well, we all know that things go on in all the jails across the country. They don't treat people fair in jail. You get treated bad in jail. We do know this. This is not like this is the only jail that this happened to. And I know the brother's trying to get his point across, and maybe he might get something done for the prison that he was in. Maybe they might do some investigating into the prison, because now they're definitely talking about doing some work to the prison.
Going on, how they handling cases, why Antoine Massey was in jail if the woman, the victim, the grown woman, not a child, the grown woman stated that he never raped her, he never beat her, he was nowhere in her presence. This is the affidavits on the date right here. This is the drop form from the district attorney office. This woman when did this. I didn't do this. Look, it's legally dated. So I'm asking, please, for help. Young boy, Meek Mills, people, LBL, you know what I'm saying? People that been through the system that know it's corrupt. Lil Wayne, Donald Trump, please, I'm asking for help. You know what I'm saying? When I get back in custody, I'm asking y'all, please, to come and help. You feel what I'm saying? I'm asking the world. I'm letting y'all know I'm not a raper, man. I'm not, none of that. None of that. I'm a good person. I am a father that want to be in my children's life. You know what I'm saying? I want to let the younger youth know that going down the route of trying to be a street person is not the route. That's what type of person I am. Yes, I was lied on. They made Sterling lie on me. Out of all the guys they picked me for him to lie on. I'm not saying Sterling a bad guy, but why did you pick me?
I agree with that there. I agree, because they had to put the blame on somebody. And it's two people left that are still on the run. So I do believe they made the maintenance man say that it was him out of all people, because he's still on the run.
Me to lie on, bro. It's bigger than Sterling. I don't know why they picked me for him to lie on, but I never threatened Sterling ever. How could I threaten Sterling or hurt Sterling? He cannot come on a tip with me without a deputy being present. My name is Antoine Massey. I'm asking for help. I was one of the ones that was let out Orleans Parish Jail on May the 16th or May the 15th, 2025. So please, Meek Mills, Donald Trump, Lil Wayne, please help me. Lil Wayne, this is Big Antoine's son that's talking right now. I'm Lil Antoine. I was in your mama wedding when she married Rabbit. I was the ring boy, Lil Wayne. Please help me, bro.
Now, he definitely screamed out for help, and this then went viral. So we shall see if this is a good thing for him or if it's going to be a no-go. And I want y'all to check this out too. This is what the people are saying about the prison.
turn. Last night there was this video that started circulating on social media. It appears to be Antoine Massey, one of the two active fugitives still at large, saying, among other things, he didn't break out of jail, he was let out of jail. Come on now. News Nation's Alex Capriello live in the newsroom. Anthony Ganji joins us as well, 20-year veteran in the corrections industry. He's the host, actually, of Tear Talk, which is a podcast dedicated to the corrections industry. Anthony in a moment, but Alex, you first. All right, so what's, if this is Antoine, so I think people think it is, right? What's he saying?
Yeah, we do have to include that caveat because News Nation hasn't been able to independently confirm that that is Antoine Massey, although most certainly it seems as if it is, it looks like it is, and we've had further indications that it is. For example, we just learned this afternoon that authorities have already found out which house it was, which kitchen that is, that he's seen filming that video, because we know that a search warrant has been conducted there. They looked for Massey inside of there, couldn't find him. So whenever this video was shot, he's already long gone from now. But as far as the content from what's inside that video, Massey really just making the case that he feels as if he's wrongly in jail. First and foremost, he says the charges that have been levied against him, like domestic abuse, strangulation, kidnapping, that those have all been dropped. He showed a paper which he claimed was an affidavit that the DA has actually dropped those charges. And then he also just asked for help. He named some rappers, Lil Wayne, Meek Mill, asking them to help him out. He asked the Kardashians to help him out. And then he asked President Donald Trump, the guy who probably could get it done if he pays attention, listens, and wants to. He could offer a pardon, but who knows? Of course, we don't think that that will go all the way up to the White House. You never know, but that's at least part of the video of what he's saying.
All right. Speaking of help, that's a good word, Alex. Anthony, did he help himself with this? Probably not, right? I mean, you see the guy wearing a watch. He's wearing different clothes, right? There's got to be some sort of a digital trail. What are people going to be able to pick up that are investigating and looking for him from this video?
Well, I think one thing right off the bat is going to be social media. I mean, obviously, when you put yourself on social media, the alerts go up. So when we have an escape, the first thing.
Just going to be me and you, Alex. If Anthony stays frozen in time, I was giving him a second. But, yeah, Alex, I'll wait while we wait for Anthony to unfreeze. The sheriff, we were talking earlier about how he was let out of jail. The sheriff did speak earlier about the whole thing as well. What did she say?
Well, interestingly, this was before we found out that the house had been searched, but their initial statement was, if this is Antoine Massey, going back to the idea that we don't officially know that. If this is Antoine Massey, then the sheriff was strongly encouraging himself to turn himself in. Come on in. You know, obviously we're looking for you. Massey is one of 2 inmates out of that original 10 that are still on the run. The sheriff also saying, look, if you don't want more charges levied against you, then the best thing to do now is to just drop your cell phone and bring yourself into your local law enforcement authority. Beyond that, the sheriff did appear in a press conference setting earlier today, about an hour ago or so, Connell. We expected maybe the sheriff to address this video and say what's the update on trying to capture these 2 convicts that are still on the loose. But instead, that press conference was more about the overall infrastructure of that jail. It certainly sounds as if there's some serious plumbing problems there, potentially what ultimately led to them breaking out. We know that they escaped from behind a toilet. Turns out that there's more than 16 leaks all throughout this facility. It's only 10 years old, and you shouldn't encounter these problems until the jail is around 30 years old. Yeah, the thing escape from behind a toilet. It was that was the thing I was kind of, it's not funny, I guess, but just saying, well, they let me out of jail. I was like, well, did you think that hole behind the toilet was like a new door they'd installed or something? But, covered these. We lost Anthony, was going to analyze it, but, you're as good as anybody. You cover these things all the time. So if you think about it, we'll talk a little bit more about what Anthony started to speak about. He did leave a trail, right? I'm sure that's what experts will be telling you, that they're going to pick up on as much as they can from this video. No, and I've spoken to law enforcement sources. I've covered criminal trials all across the country as part of my career, and I know that there is a massive digital footprint you leave behind as a criminal the moment you pick up a cell phone or you type something into your Google search bar. Posting a video is no different, and so we know law enforcement were quick on the trail, trying to find that IP address, figure out where that house was that he posted it from, and these are all little breadcrumbs or leads that police officers, investigators, the U.S. Marshals will use to try to find him.
So they're definitely going to be on the trail from where that video was uploaded from. And somebody's gonna have to take accountability for that. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation. If y'all think that the brother is doing right by going on social media, or should he just kept going until he got caught? And I appreciate all of y'all that rock with me. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share this video. Until next time.